All right, today we are trying to figure out who is the best person to draft behind. I think it's him. What's the secret? What's the secret to riding a breakaway?
Oh, definitely draft behind the fattest person and the biggest person in the breakaway. Because also, they generally, the bigger the person, the less snap they have a lot of the time too. So when you end up with a little guy like this, you know, they get kind of punchy and it's not as much fun to draft behind.
So we're going to run some tests. I'm going to be behind Brad, and then I'm going to...
That one's Brad.
I got it. I got it.
It's on the camera. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was actually pointing at me.
And then I'm going to be behind Blake. And we're going to figure out what the actual difference is when you're drafting a larger rider, sorry Blake, versus a smaller rider. All right, we have results. Should we talk about what we actually did before?
Hold on, we have to redo everything that we just talked about?
All 1 minute? All right, what did we actually do today to determine how big of an impact the rider has in front of you in terms of savings when it comes to drafting? Instead of going by average power, we went out and we set an average speed for this lap, which was an out and back on this pretty much flat. I think there's like a 1 or 2% little climb, 1 or 2% little descent, but relatively flat stretch of road. Blake, you went first.
I did.
How hard did you go?
I went pretty hard, like a easy zone 3, medium zone 3 type effort. I think I probably averaged around 330, 340 for my pole.
330, 340. I averaged 197 watts in his draft. So the draft savings is huge. But the real question we're trying to figure out is what's the difference between being behind Blake versus being behind Brad, who is... Should we talk about weights first? How much do you weigh?
I'm probably like 130 right now. So
And how tall?
58 kilos, probably 5'6" on a good day.
5'6", 130?
And I'm like 6'2" and 180.
Okay.
That's
so
pounds, not kilos.
it's a 50-pound difference.
Yeah.
Okay, I teased it enough. The same average speed. Again, we went based on average speed for the lap. Same average speed. I had to do, what is this? All the information is going to be on the screen, but it is like another 55 watts in order to go the same speed behind this guy instead of this guy. Even I was impressed because I know that we talked about this in the intro for a minute. One of the keys to success in a breakaway is like slotting behind the bigger rider. You have some tricks, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Like when you're in a breakaway, you want to figure out who's the biggest rider, who's the smoothest rider too, because really punchy riders can also kind of sap your legs with accelerations. And then also like on a crit course, if you're in a breakaway, you want to find those opportunities where you're taking your pulls and your pulls hurt people the most. So generally that would be
like in a crosswind up a hill, in a tailwind up a hill, even better.
Tailwind up a hill. So like you don't want to be the guy pulling on a headwind downhill because the guys behind you, you could be doing 400 watts and they're probably not pedaling at all. We're on an uphill, you're doing 400 watts and the guy behind you is doing 390 watts. And so it makes a huge difference.
Which is especially true if you're a smaller rider. You probably want to do your pulls going up a hill.
Always.
Always.
Yeah.
And we recently did the road race. I was behind Brad, unfortunately.
That was on purpose.
And I don't know, I mean, we'll show the clip right now. I don't seem to remember there being much of a power savings being behind Brad when I was behind him. And later on in the race, I intentionally, because of this trick, which is now not really a secret or a trick.
No, you should charge people for this video.
So we'll be behind a paywall because the difference is so big. So we did a third run. Now that we know the difference is about 55 watts being behind each of these guys, how much is it if I just go out by myself? In other words, what is it if I'm doing a solo effort? It is another 80 watts difference. So the moral of the story, I guess, is if you're going to be off the front in a breakaway, bring people with you, preferably big people. And if you're stuck with Brad, sorry, you're just out of luck. He's going to drop you on the climb. In all seriousness, do those tricks. Like one of my tricks is pretend like you're taking on some feed and like get out of rotation if you're stuck behind one of the smaller riders or somebody who's just like you said, not taking smooth pulls. Disrupt that rotation in a way that maintains cohesion in the break, if that makes sense. You want to sabotage the breakaway, but you want to be behind the big rider.
Got to save those matches.
Any other closing thoughts here? Make sure that Brad is off the front as your teammate. This draft sucks is what we learned. No, it was great having you guys on though. We're going to make more of these videos. These are my training buddies down in SLO now. It's been a lot of fun riding with them. So let us know what you guys want to see in the next video. Catch you in the next one.